No, that's really cool. It's like really easy. Yeah.
It's the wind, it's not my fault.
I have no idea what I'm doing though.
It's fun. I don't think I've quite figured out how to make the colour solid yet. And that's why it looks the way it looks.
I haven't done art since I was 13, 14, probably, at school. It's a bit odd, something that you don't normally do. Engineers trained to use paper and pencil, not really anything more creative than that. It's a shame really, because I think creativity is stifled hugely in our industry.
Oh, lovely.
I mean, yes. We have some ideas.
That is amazing. Thank you.
Is that okay?
That's great.
Print.
Can we get them printed out at a similar size so that the hat's the right sort of size for Steve Jobs' head? Yeah. That would be absolutely amazing.
I will try.
I didn't get it. Are you doing
We're making Steve Jobs into Brunel.
Or Brunel and Steve Jobs, depends which way you want to look at it.
I mean, Steve Jobs would have looked good with lamb chops.
Who's going to do Steve? Oh, are we nominating?
I'm happy to do Steve.
Yeah. Okay, so this is good because this means that Dan is inputting to the process. Yeah.
Also, because if I did it, it would look awful.
At the moment we're just getting some background colour down and the kind of whole concept behind it is to show evolution in some way.
You're trying to do?
I think we're trying to create something a bit more thought out, a bit more maybe collaborative, rather than sort of just trying to practice, get stuff down on paper, which we were doing the last time. But saying that, it's quite bold colours, which I quite like the last time, so don't feel afraid of just putting stuff down and getting it wrong, because actually you know that if you get it wrong, you just go over it again. You know, we painted one colour here, which we didn't like, so we just covered it with the other two, and it now looks much better. So you get it down, have a look back, step back, and then get it back on again. And it doesn't really matter, as long as you can keep working.
So what?
If I do, we don't run out of time.
It was quite an old picture underneath, a photo, not a picture, and I think it frames it quite well because the poem is actually from the late 19th century, so that old frame makes it a bit more, puts it a bit more into perspective, and I think I like the contrast between the spray paint and the graffiti and the old frame. I found the sentence in an article in a systems dynamics review about what is systems thinking. And I think it's a bit about my research as well, because it's about the fact that you have to find your own way, you have to make your own way. And I feel a bit like that in my research, because I have to, it's a new research, so I have to, well, find my own footsteps somehow.
We originally met at the Engage conference, I think, didn't we, at University of Bristol? So it was something Kathy Sykes said, wasn't it?
Yes, Kathy Sykes said out of that event, to get one idea and to make one contact. And I thought, well, what on earth am I going to do? And I sat down at lunch and Hayley was sat there and we just started talking.
And from that, we did some training for a thing called Bright Club, which is sort of research and variety night with my company Sounds of Science. And then Sarah said, does anybody at Sounds of Science know any artists? And I said, well, I'm sitting in a building of about 200 of them. That's where my studio is in Stokes Croft, which is sort of, you know, very creative hub of Bristol, really. And so yeah, I just sort of gathered some artists together, and we set the project up from there, I suppose.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the interplay between, in the manufacturing process, between design, manufacture and verification, so to check that what you're making actually conforms to the specification that's put forward by design. So it's looking at trying to improve that communication flow, because when there are problems, then obviously you get issues where products need to be reworked or scrapped unnecessarily, which is obviously bad for everyone concerned.
My research project investigates complexity in a smart grid future. So I'm thinking about how will a smart electrical grid affect people, regulators, markets, companies, and how can we deal with this change, this massive change in an infrastructure which hasn't changed for a lot of decades, basically. Yeah. So what I thought of doing with my animation was to create a simple video that explains what a smart grid is and how it's different to what we have today, and some basic reasons on why we need it and why it should be done. So it's really an introductory video for anyone who's interested in smart grids.